Hey, I'm back with another video. This is actually going to be the first of hopefully many Q&A sessions. Feel free to send me your questions, any questions you have, whether it's about, lifestyle, that you want to know something about being an solo entrepreneur, or, moving in with your parents or grandma, or maybe you have a question about business or drop shipping or whatever. I'm happy to answer any of those. So today I have a question from Andrew, and in all fairness, he didn't actually ask the question, but he did say that he found really valuable some of my advice in the Dropship Lifestyle forum, and suggested I make that public information. Can help more people. Anyway, the question or the topic was, and thank you, Andrew, for writing me. That's awesome. I like hearing any feedback from you guys, and hearing that what I'm doing is helpful. That's really great to hear. Anyway, so let's get right into it. So the topic he found valuable was a series of posts I did on the forum about chargebacks. So, chargebacks, if you guys have any experience with them, hopefully you don't, but if you've been in business long enough, I'm guessing you probably have. They're awful. They're stressful. They're taking your money from you, and they're just a pain to deal with. Everything about it is bad, and so I hope that you don't have to deal with them very much. I've had a couple of them, and I've been able to avoid a lot of them. So, if you're unfamiliar, what is a chargeback? Basically, a chargeback is when, if you operate a store like a drop shipping store like I do, say you have your own website, you're taking people's credit cards for payments of products that you're sending or somebody else is sending. So what happens, with the internet is full of awful people, and there are a lot of people who will try to steal money from you in all kinds of ways, or steal money from somebody else, in which case you don't want to get in the middle of that. So basically what happens with why you would be getting a chargeback is, say somebody has stolen somebody's credit card information, and they basically what they want to do when they're scamming people is they'll steal somebody's credit card, they'll buy something with it on your website, and then they'll get the package and then sell it on Craigslist or eBay or something. At which point the rightful owner of the credit card will see, hey, what's this charge? I didn't buy this. So they'll call the credit card company, and then they'll say, no, you got to cancel this. But what's the credit card company gonna do? Are they gonna pay for it? No. Their money, their business is making money. So they're not gonna give out money for free. They make you pay for it. You, the single solo entrepreneur who's out there trying to feed his family, you have to pay for these awful people's decisions. So how do you avoid that? It's not easy. So there's some basic rules. If you get a credit card, if you're using Shopify like I do, which I recommend, I haven't used the others, but there's no reason not to use them as far as I'm concerned. On your order page, they'll have like a risk assessment, and it's not very detailed, but they'll say, hey, this order looks risky for some reason. So if it does look risky, you might want to look into that. You might want to call the person and see if the person who answers the phone is actually the person who made the order. in my RC store, it was a magnet for scammers, because they're expensive products that, you know, a lot of people want, and they're easy to sell on Craigslist for half the price. So I got so many of these. So what do? So you call them, you ask them a few questions. Usually the real purchasers, you know, the people who really bought it are, you know, actually interested in the product, and they're excited about it, and they'll talk your ear off. So, you know, if somebody answers the phone and they talk your ear off about how they're excited to get it, you're probably good to go. There's a few other things you can do. You can look up online, you can Google, you know, how do you determine fraudulent orders or whatever. I know Shopify has a help page on it, but they will say, look at the IP address. Is it in, you know, some strange country? The IP address meaning where the computer is when they buy. Look at the phone number to see if there's a lot of things that they have you check into. And for a while I was going down that hole every time I got a suspicious order, and I caught a lot of them, but a few of them slipped through. Some of the wrongful, you know, some of the fraudulent orders didn't ring any alarm bells. And as a business owner, you're supposed to be out there marketing, getting new business. You can't be like looking at each and every order so suspiciously all the time. You'll never get anything done. So that's what was happening to me. And, you know, I think in my forum post when I talked about this, this was before I came up with the final solution. There was a lot of things that I would do to avoid this, and you can do all of those. I don't think I have time to tell you everything I was doing back then, but eventually I got to the point where enough is enough, because I was doing everything I could do. And here's what happened. My RC store, as you know, is a failed store. It did not do very well, but it made some profit. You know, it made me a few $100 here, a few $100 there. And at one point I was, you know, I had almost $1,000 in the bank profit, which was, I was super excited about it. Then somebody orders a product. Everything's fine, I think. And then I get a chargeback. The bank contacts me. Oh, here comes a loud truck. I hope you can still hear me. Yeah, so I'll get a little close. This will be an intimate conversation. It's not actually that loud. So I get this chargeback. What happens is the bank, the credit card company, notifies Shopify or whoever your payment processor is, PayPal maybe, and they say, hey, this was reported as fraudulent. You have, you know, 30 days or whatever to provide your evidence, make your case that it was not fraudulent, and then you can, you know, see if you can talk them out of it. But in the meantime, they take your money. And then if you're found, it's guilty until proven innocent. Actually, that's really what it is. So they take your money and take it right out of your bank account. Your payment processor does, because they're not going to foot the bill for you sending out a fraudulent order. So they take your money, and if, you know, you provide a good enough reason that the credit card company, that it was actually the card holder's fault. That's the only reason. The reason cannot be that some fraudulent scammer scammed you. They don't care about that. They only care if it's the card holder's fault or not. They only care about truthfulness of the card holder. If the card holder did not buy it, the rightful card holder, then they're not gonna give you your money back. So anyway, you can plead your case. I've never won one. I've only had one successful one. So back to the story. I was doing all right, and I thought I was doing all right, and then I get this chargeback for $750, something like that. This was over a year ago, and it was devastating. That was all of my profit for the entire store that I had ever made. All of it was gone. And what was I gonna do? There's nothing I could do. I was scammed. So that was it. And that one, there is kind of a longer story with that one, but there were some other ones that slipped through that I did not end up having to pay for. Long story. I realized this is enough. I need some help. I can't be checking everything on my own. So there are these companies out there who provide chargeback insurance. So I looked into them, and I started using them. There's a bunch of them out there. The one I use is called Signified, S-I-G-N-I-F-Y-D, Signified. And what they do is they'll take a percentage of your order. They'll every order that you have them insure has to be vetted by them and approved. Here's another truck. If they deny it, then you better not ship that product out, because if that chargeback comes back, they're going to say, hey, we said not to ship it, so you're out of luck. We're not covering that. So you have to wait for their approval. Anyway, so basically you have a choice. You can have them take 1% of your entire store's revenues. Every order, 1%, no questions. Which is what I do. Or you can send them only the orders that you're suspicious of. So since you're sending them suspicious orders, they're going to take a higher percentage. It's 4%. But the thing is, with me, I was having a hard time determining if these orders were suspicious or not. So to me, that's already a losing game. So that's what I do. I just have them have every order go through them. It slows the process down, because sometimes it takes a while for them to approve or deny, and then maybe they'll deny it and they need some more information, so you have to go back and forth. It's a little bit of a pain, but it saves you money. Saves you money. So how that works is, then if you get a chargeback on an order that they have guaranteed, just send them a notice. There's actually a button that you click. They have a dashboard where you can look at every order. You just click the chargeback button, and boom, they send you your money. I've actually done that. It has saved me money. And more than just the money, so much frustration and headache and mental energy that is spent on trying to determine these chargebacks, and stress. Let me tell you, it is super, super stressful. So all that time and all that money you save and all that headache you save, it's totally worth it. Like 1%, no big deal. They should be paying me for this. They really should, but they're not. I don't have any affiliate program with them. So yeah, that's what I do. But you know what? In all honesty, that doesn't stop every order or every scam. You can still end up losing money on occasional orders here and there, and this is how it works. They've gotten a little bit more, become more sticklers about what orders and what chargebacks they do cover and which ones they don't. So they do cover fraudulent orders like credit card scams. They do not cover people who buy a product, receive the product, and then say, oh, it's damaged, or oh, it's missing, or oh, it's defective, I need my money back, and by the way, I'm keeping the product. That sounds ridiculous, but it actually happens. It happens a fair amount, and that ends up being just the cost of business. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're afraid to, if even that scares you, you gotta, there's always some risk somewhere in something. I mean, that you pay for internet, you also pay for these obnoxious little things every now and then. All right, so that's it for me. If you have any more questions, let me know and I will get back to you. Hopefully you found that helpful and you can avoid all that stress and all that money going out of your hard-earned checking balances. All right, talk to you next time.